Good evening. My name is Dr. Lori Alpert. I'm the president of the College of Nursing Alumni Affiliate. Welcome, and thank you for joining us this evening for our virtual State of the College Nursing event. Before we start tonight's presentation, I would like to share a few housekeeping notes. As a friendly reminder, all participants are currently on mute, and this program is being recorded. Please feel free to use the chat function to ask questions throughout the event. I would like to now introduce Dr. Linda Lewandowski. Dr. Lewandowski has over 4 decades of experience as an academic, educator, administrator, researcher, clinician, and consultant with positions of increasing responsibility. She is both a nurse and clinical psychologist. In July of 2017, Dr. Lewandowski assumed the role of Dean and Professor at the University of Toledo College of Nursing, Toledo, Ohio. She was appointed to co-chair of the President's UToledo Opioid Task Force later in 2017, a role she continues. And in 2019, added the role of Vice Provost of Health Affairs for Interprofessional and Community Partnerships. Some focus areas in her Vice Provost role include leading the university's mental health response team, the social determinants of health working group, and serving as a member of the University Pandemic Operations Committee. Very recently, Interim President Pastel named her as the Interim Executive Director for University Health Services, charged with bringing all health and wellness services for students, faculty, staff at the university under one umbrella and leading the search committee for a permanent Executive Director, Chief Health and Wellness Officer. Dean Lewandowski is formerly a tenured professor in the College of Nursing at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, where she is also an associate dean for the academic affairs. She served as an associate dean for family, community, and mental health at Wayne State University College of Nursing, with a joint appointment at WSU and Children's Hospital of Michigan as the Elizabeth Sultanis Endowed Associate Professor of Pediatric Nursing. Previous to that position, she held an academic post at Johns Hopkins and Yale University. Her research program focuses on violence, cumulative trauma in the high-risk groups. Examples are urban youth, Iraqi refugees, and high-risk situations, including domestic violence, homicide, unintentional and violent injury. She co-developed with Kira Templin a cumulative trauma score, which is now translated into 6 different languages and used word logs. She has been a national leader in patient and family-centered care, co-authoring a work that has helped change practice. Dean Lewandowski has extensive experience in program and curriculum development, strategic planning, program management at the undergraduate through Ph.D. levels, and mentoring of students, faculty in both private and public research-intensive universities. She has significant expertise in interdisciplinary collaborative education, active learning techniques, synchronous distance, and online education. Her work reflects her strong focus on social justice and health care for underserved and disadvantaged populations. She is a fellow in the American Academy of Nursing. She earned her BSN from the University of Michigan, an MS degree in pediatric and critical care nursing, clinical nurse specialist from the University of California, San Francisco, and an MS in psychology and a Ph.D. in clinical psychology from the University of Massachusetts at Amherst, then completed her postdoctoral fellowship at Yale University. Recent national leadership includes former co-chair of the Child, Adolescent, and Family Expert Panel of the American Academy of Nursing. She continues to serve as the president of the International Network for Doctoral Education in Nursing. Please welcome Dean Linda Lewandowski.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so pleased to have you all with us this evening. Obviously, we're not quite in the venue that we are wanting to be, but I came to the College of Nursing because I really think this is our special place. We're almost all back, so I know we have it in our hearts, even if we're not all here physically present. I'm going to share my screen, which is, one of our first hurdles that one always has to get over. Okay, oh, there. Sorry, they did this, so it looks different. Okay, and then we're going to, let's get down here. So I have to start out this evening with a pretty heavy heart. Starting this address not in the way that I would have expected. But as many of you know, and if you're finding out for the first time, I'm really sorry that you're going to hear news, in this way. But this weekend, we lost a really valuable member of our faculty, Dr. Tamika Gray-L. Tamika was the program director of our advanced practice program. And this was going to be the hardest part of this little talk for me here, and so I'm going to get through it. We're all going to miss her very much. She was a joy, a light, and a very special person for all of us. So we're going to have an opportunity to really celebrate the life of Tamika. In the next couple of weeks, we're planning a memorial service for our college and university. And we'll be giving you more information about that. Really, thank you. We've all been having a lot of Kleenex lately, but that's really showing kind of the depth of importance that Tamika played for us. I know she would be really excited to hear all of the things that I'm going to share with you this evening, because we've really had quite an amazing year. It's been a tumultuous year, as we know. Everyone is quite aware. We've been dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. We had to move all our classes virtual. It impacted our clinicals, safety concerns. We've been in quarantine, isolation, worried about threatened and actual illnesses, losses of loved ones, financial challenges. We've had university budget cuts. We all know that we've had to really deal with some very difficult issues in our society related to systemic racism and disparities that have been particularly highlighted this year. Social and political issues amidst a contentious election, the leaving of our university president, and new changes underway now with our interim president, Dr. Postal. New hope is coming now, but also challenges with the vaccine rollout. Despite all of those challenges, and they have certainly been challenges, as all of you know, our faculty and students have really risen to the occasion during the pandemic. I can't tell you how proud I am of the response that our faculty, our staff, and our students have had. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. I just want to introduce some of the topics that I'm going to touch on and then talk about in more detail. Our enrollment is growing in the College of Nursing in most of our programs. We've been able to develop and implement new programs, even in this virtual crazy world that we've been living in. We have new people who've come to join us, some people who retired and moved on. We have new facilities, and we're really making progress in our marketing, social media, development, and alumni relations areas. I really want to talk to you a little bit more about all of these things. But first, I just want to go back and celebrate, once again, a really incredible success that we've had at the end of 2019, but I haven't had a chance to do a state of the college, so I don't want to let this go by. Our CCNE accreditation effort was truly an incredible team effort of all of our faculty, a lot of our staff. A lot of work went into preparing not one, but two self-study reports. We had to do a separate one for the UT BGSU consortium in the BSN program, and one for all of our UT programs. A lot of teamwork, curriculum revision, the incredible help of Trish Harvath, who was our consultant. We sought also an initial 5-year accreditation for a new UToledo only BSN program, as our consortium program with BGSU is going to be coming to an end this summer. And in October of 2019, we had this celebration that you see some pictures of, and a cake, of course, that we had full 10-year CCNE accreditation and a truly outstanding report. So I just think there's not enough times to celebrate this event, and I wanted to just revisit this incredible success. Let's talk a little bit about what we've been dealing with and how we've been responding to the COVID-19 pandemic. As you all know, our world pretty much changed, it really did change a lot in March of 2020. We had to fairly abruptly move all of our classes online. We suddenly had to come up with virtual labs and virtual clinical opportunities. All of our faculty, staff, and students had to move to virtual classes and meetings and work sites. We were very fortunate that we were able to, again, return though to the clinical areas and to in-person skills lab sessions in June. And we've been able to remain in person with our labs and clinicals since that time, although a little bit modified, of course, with social distancing in some areas of clinical, like nursing homes, where we're still not, it's not safe for us to return there yet. Dr. Marty Sexton was appointed our CON COVID advocate. She's sitting over here, properly socially distanced, so I can take off my mask here tonight. And really, it's been an incredible task for Marty and for all of the members of our executive team and our faculty and staff to really manage all of the changes and demands of this pandemic. I've been able to also serve the university in the role of being a member of the university pandemic operations team. And also in my vice provost role, I've been coordinating all the clinical guidelines for all of our UToledo health science students, looking at ways to safely get them and keep them back in the clinical areas and helping to shape some of the university's response to this pandemic. We have some events that we've really been working on here that have been really important. One is we started a panel. We've done a lot of educational efforts. So just gave you an example of one of the initial panels that we did in March that really started to educate people about what we were dealing with and what we thought we were dealing with at the time. We really participated. Over 100 of our students were recruited and trained to make surveillance calls, to participate with the Lucas County Health Department in contact tracing. This was a really important role. It continues to be an important role, but now we've moved to more paid staff. But at the time in the beginning, all hands on deck were necessary, and our faculty and staff were incredible in rising to that occasion. Early in the pandemic, we were anticipating a huge spike in cases, and we thus graduated early. About 70% of our BSN grads and 60% of our CNL grads who chose to do this option, to finish up everything very quickly so that they could be hired into settings before what we were expecting to be a fairly major peak. Oh, I'm missing one of my slides. So I will just kind of go back because I don't know what happened to that. The picture got moved on here. I think there was some editing for me, but I certainly want to talk about the efforts of Dr. Batten and of our many students involved in responding to the pandemic and through giving the vaccine. Maybe it's back in there. I don't know. Sorry. Anyway, I did have a slide, and it was really important to recognize that our students and Dr. Batten in particular has been a really important player in our community's response of the vaccine. We're increasing that, involving more of our faculty and students. And we really think that this is something that is a role that we're going to see more focus on for us in helping our community as time goes on and as we're able to really roll out more vaccine. One of the adaptations we had to do is a convocation. We could not do it in person totally, but we did a drive-through convocation at the end of summer term. And at the end of winter term, we did a walkthrough convocation. And we're still able to bring students one at a time with their pinners or their hooders to really celebrate their events as much as we can, even under socially distanced and different circumstances. So we had a drive-up convocation, and then we had a walk-through convocation at the end of fall semester. Oh, there, that picture being on there threw me off. Here's our slide that talks about the interprofessional student teams that would are really involved in the COVID-19 vaccine. We will be participating even more in this all hands on deck 2 effort to get as many people as possible vaccinated as fast as we can. So our students have been great, and more of our students and faculty will be participating in this effort. We also want to acknowledge the annual Dorothy Hussein Distinguished Lectureship this year was focused on COVID-19. In this venue, really highlighting the health disparities and social inequities that we're seeing amidst this pandemic. And you can see some of our panelists. We had over 600 virtual attendees. We're very proud of that effort and really want to thank everybody who participated. We've had a number of personnel changes here in the college, so giving a state of the college, we need to talk about the people are the most important. We certainly have had some important new hires. Kristen Gartland is our marketing, communications, and recruitment specialist. Susan Wilson is our director of development. Dr. LaTanya Parker has been working with us to really help with clinical placements and getting students all the regulations and rules and going through and finding what we need to do to get things out in the clinical world. 2 faculty, Dr. Katie Hughes and Dr. Jennifer Johnson, also joined us this year. And Ileana Otero just recently joined us as our graduate advisor. We also had to say goodbye to some people. Dr. Marilyn Wood, Dr. Linda Pierce, Dr. Mitch Lakia, all retired this year. David Lymanstall retired, and Kathy Dashner in our office is about to retire very soon. So we bid all of these folks a fond farewell, but welcome to all the new people. We also had a budget cut. We weren't quite hit as many places, but we had to lose Laura, who was one of our staff, and that was unfortunate. But we're carrying on with our new people, and we'll see how the whole world goes here. Now, this is like blocking my thing. Over here. Overall, I want to report that our College of Nursing is trending upward in enrollment. I give you this kind of busy chart to give you information. If you're interested in any of our particular programs, you can zero in on them. You can see that our total enrollment has gone up about 16%, but that's an overall figure. Our undergraduate pre-nursing has gone down somewhat. That's in step with our enrollment at the university. We're looking at ways to boost that back up. We're down a little bit, but we're excited about all of the potential new incoming students that we're already talking to for the next year. We have growth in our RN to BSN program, and I'll be talking to you more about how we've made some changes in that. Our nurse educator master's program has not seen growth, and there's a lot of other programs in the area in this region, and so we've decided to retire that program and really focus on growing some of our other programs that are not repeats of some of the programs that other colleges in the area have. Our CNL program has been totally revised. I'll be talking about that. We've seen a lot of growth in that program, as you can see. And we are growing in our nurse practitioner programs, not so much in our DNP program, but we're just rolling out a major new curriculum revision that I think is going to really help. Okay, that went backwards. I don't really expect that you're going to be able to read all this, but what I wanted you to kind of get out of this slide is that we've been very, very proactive in terms of enrollment activities, marketing, recruiting, and looking at ways of attracting the most talented and remarkable people coming into our college. This is kind of a list of some of the things that we've done, a lot of social media and outreach and virtual events, well, really virtual events now with COVID situation. And we're very excited about the successes and activities that we've had going on in our recruitment areas. I'm going to talk now just a little bit, going through some of our major, well, all of our major programs really. First of all, of course, we have our BSN pre-licensure track with the program director being Dr. Susan Sahaki. One of the changes that we've made is in our recruitment is to add a direct admission option to our pre-licensure program. In the past, all students came in, did their first 2 years in pre-nursing, which is also under our college, but mostly they're on main campus doing all their prerequisites and background courses. And then they applied to the College of Nursing. But we know we have really, really very highly qualified students, and we decided for those students who are particularly well qualified, we would offer them a direct admit option. So they don't have to apply in their sophomore year. They're admitted directly for 4 years into nursing. This has been really successful, and we're looking at expanding that. We still do have the pre-nursing option for students who might need a little bit more time to get their feet on the ground with some college credits. And that's been a great pathway for many students too. So we have 2 years of our prerequisite courses, 2 years of nursing courses. We, a couple years ago, did a really state-of-the-art revision, coming up with a concept-based nursing curriculum. It's fully implemented now, and we're really excited about some of the outcomes that we're seeing. Interprofessional education is a very important component in our program. We have all of our students participating in interprofessional activities, and that's the world in which they're going to work, right? And so we are really excited that we have a very strong interprofessional program here. We also, as many of you know, have a wonderful state-of-the-art clinical simulation center, and we're always looking at new ways that we can really utilize simulation, now getting into virtual reality and many other modifications as technology improves, ways that we can keep our education really state-of-the-art. Undergraduate students have opportunities to participate in evidence-based practice programs, projects, and research projects, and we very much encourage that. We are blessed to have a lot of service learning options, and I'll talk about that a little bit more when I talk about some of the student activities. Our study abroad obviously can't really go right now because no one's really able to go abroad, and certainly not in their college education, but we're looking forward to maybe in a year or so getting back to having the really very well regarded and great learning experiences of our mission trips. We have great faculty involvement in that and a great opportunity for our students. We also have great off-semester employment for our students once they're in the nursing major. You probably know, but if not, we admit 3 times a year, which is very unusual, but it allows us to bring in more students. So students have 2 semesters on and 1 semester off. And during that off semester, we have great partnerships with our area healthcare systems where they can really help cement some of what they're learning in nursing and also get some gainful employment. We have white coat ceremonies that shortly after I arrived, it's been about 3.5 years now, we started having white coat ceremonies. It was a grant actually that Kathy Mitchell and Dr. Phillips, sorry, Kelly, Kelly Phillips wrote. And it's now, we have white coat ceremonies every semester. Here's an example of them before COVID. We had a great virtual white coat ceremony. Students were able to send in us videos of being placed in their white coat by important people, important to them. And we are really excited about this way of really acknowledging our pre-licensure students coming into the nursing profession. This summer, we will be doing white coat ceremonies for our advanced practice nurse students. Our honors program is under the direction of Dr. Eileen Walsh. We have really had a lot of growth in this program, and I really thank Dr. Walsh for all of the effort that she's putting in to the honors program. We have a number of advantages to students. They have some first dibs on some clinical placements, really good support in doing capstone projects. Many of them end up presenting at local, regional, and national meetings. They end up being co-authors with faculty on their work, and many receive really good jobs and go to graduate school in really choice places. And so we just have a listing of some of those. Making a difference in the region and the world, that's part of our mission, as you know, at the University of Toledo. Mission trips up until the time of COVID were very sought after and very important, as our study abroad opportunities. We have just set up a new relationship at Nanjing, China. We have relationships ready to go with Taiwan, Australia, Scotland, other places. But we're going to have to wait until it's a safer world and for our students to travel. So we're looking forward to the day when our students and faculty can get back to making a difference in the world. Right now, we're focusing on our region. The RN to BSN track is under the program directorship of Dr. Colleen Quinlan. A new curriculum has been implemented, total updating of our RN to BSN track. And we're very excited. In fall of 2019, we started the first competency-based education, CBE, modality in the region. Now there are a couple more, but of course ours is the best. We know how to do it and have a little bit more experience than they do. We had 5 courses launched in spring of 2020. We ran 8 courses. We have a really on top of things faculty here. Man, they implemented even faster than we thought. In summer of 2020, we had 8 courses, and all 10 courses in the program were completed in the CBE modality, and that was up and running by fall of 2020. So yay, kudos again to our amazing faculty. We also are very committed to excellence in quality online education, and a mark of that is Quality Matters certification. It's a national program, it's a rigorous criteria, and we're very proud that we now have 6 of our courses certified. We have 7 all 7 faculty who teach in our RN2BSN program will be QM certified by 2021. Most are already. And we're also going to be seeking program certification. Really, for those of you maybe of my generation who remember the Good Housekeeping seal of approval, this is kind of like that, of the quality of your online program. And we're really proud that our faculty have done such an incredible job to really make sure that our courses in our online programs are of the highest quality. We've had a lot of focus on increasing our marketing. We received a grant. Actually, Kathy Mitchell and Kelly Phillips in particular, and Marty Sexton worked on this project. All right, Marty's the PI in that, sorry, different project. It's nice that we can mix up projects, because that means that we have more than one going on and we have to keep track of them all. We really have been able to, with the additional funding from this grant, launch some targeted marketing. We're going to be launching a new targeted digital campaign in March, and we're excited about the growth of this program. We also have been very focused on looking at partnerships, not just articulation agreements, but actual dual admission partnerships. So our partnership with Owens Community College has signed a while. We're now really getting underway with admitting students. So how this works is students who are interested in, now it's pretty much foregone conclusion that if you go into a associate degree program, you really need to go into a bachelor's program. You need to be thinking about that proactively from the beginning. That's something that most of the community college programs already start talking to their students about. And so in a dual admission, the students are admitted to Owens Community College, and they're also admitted to the University of Toledo. They get to get into all of our football games and events just as a student. And they have a very seamless articulation from finishing their AD degree to coming into finishing their RN to BSN degree with us. And so we're really excited about this partnership with Owens Community College. We also have a similar arrangement that's just getting underway with Saddleback College in California. We wanted to talk to them about an articulation agreement, and their president was very interested in the dual admission, and we actually just signed that agreement with Saddleback not too long ago. We also are talking to Monroe County Community College in Michigan. So I think that this is a model that really benefits students. They get the some of the bennies of being part of a four-year college through all 4 years, even while they're in the community college, and they're just ready to go, and they don't have to reapply again when they're finishing their RN portion to move into the BSN program portion. So we're really excited about this dual admission project. Okay, this is like, got too many words on this slide. I now see that. But I want to talk a little bit more about our master's tracks. Dr. Kelly Phillips is our program director as well as our department chair. So we do keep Kelly a bit busy, but we totally appreciate all of her efforts. We have had, as many of you know, an MSN Clinical Nurse Leader program. We are now transitioning out of this program, and we've done a major curriculum revision and started in fall of 2020 a new curriculum, a graduate entry master's that we affectionately call the GEM program. This program is really, we believe, state-of-the-art program. It takes students who have a bachelor's degree in any other discipline, and by the time they finish this program, they not only are able to sit for the NCLEX RN exam, but they also have a master's degree. And so they can then opt to move on to an advanced practice role in our APRN program. They might want to look at getting a DNP degree, or they might want to go practice as a nurse for a while. They have a lot of options. This program is geared towards adult learners, and it's one of our highest growth potential programs. We are increasing students. We had 52 students in the CNL track, went up to 64 students in the GEM, and we expect that to continue to increase and for this to be one of our growth programs. Not one of our growth programs, though, is the MSN Nurse Educator program. Because we've had low enrollment and because there are ample opportunities in this area from other universities for nurses who want to get a master's degree as a nurse educator, we've suspended enrollment as of this past fall. We are really deciding that we want to focus on things that we can do well that other colleges of nursing don't have the option to do. And so we're encouraging students who want a master's in nursing education to look at the options they have available. But we'd like them to consider our DNP program or one of the specialty tracks in our APRN nurse practitioner track. We have 5 areas: family nurse practitioner, pediatric nurse practitioner, psych mental health nurse practitioner, adult gero primary care. And just this semester, we have opened our newest track, which is the acute care nurse practitioner. We negotiated, I guess kind of negotiated if you say like that, we made a proposal to our board of trustees here at the UToledo to have a group discount for this program approved. We know that many of the large healthcare systems have family nurse practitioners or adult nurse practitioners who have a primary care focus because there were not acute care programs around at the time, who are actually practicing out of their scope of practice, according to the Ohio Board of Nursing, because they're working in critical care or acute care settings in roles that really were not the roles for which they were trained in their master's program. So we have an option for them. They can come back, do our postmaster's version of the program, take the exam, and then they will be duly certified, but they'll be covered when the state board decides that they will no longer grandfather primary care nurse practitioners into roles that really they did not have the education for. And so this is sort of a transitional program for many students. And so that's why we kind of push the group discount. I know we have some area healthcare systems who have a lot of primary care focused practitioners who need to get this acute care credential. So we're excited about that and getting that underway. One of the challenges for our APN placements is that we are in competition with PA and med students often. So we've had to get kind of creative and also kind of assertive. We're not pushy, we're just assertive about saying, hey, we all get to play in this sandbox here. You know, our programs are all important, our specialties are all important, and we need to look at how we can really work together. And we really have had great cooperation from our healthcare systems. I'm going to talk a little bit about our partnership with ProMedica, but it's huge for us, and it's something we very much value. We continue to have our partnership with UTMC, of course, and work with Mercy and other healthcare systems. But we're very excited about our work with ProMedica, and we'll be talking about that. Our Doctor of Nursing Practice program, Dr. Tanya Schmidt assumed the role as program director in the past year. And oh my gosh, our faculty are so incredible in the midst of this pandemic, in the midst, I'm looking over at Marty Sexton, who led the charge. And the faculty did an incredible curriculum revision. They had work groups, they all were meeting virtually, they were meeting all the time. And they have succeeded in getting our new curriculum approved by our faculty. It's now moving on through the approval process to Faculty Senate by the state, and we anticipate opening our new version of our DNP program by this coming fall. We know that we had a program, a DNP program, a while back. At the time, it seemed a good idea to have a whole lot of credits. But we found that we're very not competitive right now. We're very out of the market, which is one of the reasons why our numbers are down for our DNP students. And so our faculty and Marty and her whole group in academic affairs, just, I can't say enough about how amazing they have been in taking the new essentials document, AACN, as many of you may know or may not. AACN, the American Association of Colleges of Nursing, that sets standards, educational standards for all of our programs in the country, is revising what they call their essentials documents. The essentials is kind of the prescriptive operating manual of what colleges, schools of nursing must teach in each type of program. And so right now there's a pretty good draft out there at the AACN leadership meeting, has all the deans and associate deans, leaders, people. In March, it may be that we're voting on the final. It might be true, but we know that the version that we used is pretty close to final. So we are so far ahead of many universities who are going to have to, once these are totally approved, go back and do revision of all of their program. And we kind of did that all at the same time. We now have a direct care track that incorporates all of our nurse practitioner specialties. And we're really, really excited to open a new executive leadership track. So some of you folks out there in our area healthcare systems, we really want you to take a look at our new executive leadership track. It's going to be pretty cool. So we're hoping to start all that. We're pretty confident we will by this fall. Our BSN, we have the BSN to DNP and the MSN to DNP options. We also did a revision of our doctoral program while we were at our project while we were at it. So we have this new, improved, wonderful, can't wait to unveil it to you all, DNP program. And we're really excited about that. I want to just tell you a little bit more in the state of our college. We have also a very state-of-the-art bunch of learning labs. We have 5 pre-licensure labs, and we just this past year and a half, opened some new open lab practice space. We are upgrading all of our lab facilities. We opened a newly designed advanced practice learning lab. And also, I'm standing in, although you can't see, our newly renovated Rocket classroom, which is a classroom designed kind of high tech. We have 5 computer screens around for students to do team-based and group kind of learning. And so we haven't been able to do that as much in person this year, but we are really ready to go and really excited about using this space in exciting ways that we now have options to do. We also have what many colleges of nursing do not, and that's 9 experienced clinical lab associates. I think their name doesn't really do them credit because they're all registered nurses with either bachelor's or master's degrees, and they have a passion for teaching our students skills. That's what they do, that's what they know, and our students are really known for how clinically competent they are as new grads as opposed to mini programs. So we're really proud of our CLAs and all of our laboratory facilities. We're also really proud of our interprofessional immersive simulation center. Many of you have been to our simulation center. If not, you can see some pictures of our control room looking through the screen into looks like Mary Jean owns doing a group there with students. We're working on a shared governance model for the simulation center. Dr. Marty Sexton is our nurse director for simulation. Medicine has a director, pharmacy is looking at getting a director, and it is an interprofessional center, and we're really working in how we can strengthen the shared governance of this great center. So we're looking at ways to increase the use, to increase our interprofessional use of the simulation center, looking at using new technologies such as virtual reality goggles and new things coming down the pike. And we have a goal to upgrade some of our equipment. It's been around a while and we need to replace that. I have these stories of Scotch tape or something that's going there. That's not good. So we are really looking at increasing our simulation too. Our student group, I just want to talk a little bit about because we're so proud of our students that have won the state chapter of the year for 9 years now. They've won awards at the National Student Nurses Association. Our graduate students have been very active. In 2019, both the president and vice president of the University Graduate Association were from the College of Nursing. And this year we have a student trustee on the UT Board of Trustees, Anthony Jennings, who's a BSN 2 student. You also may have seen him as the star of one of University of Toledo's commercials with Dr. Marty Sexton. So we're really excited that we were chosen to kind of exemplify the greatness of the University of Toledo in one of the ongoing commercials. These are just some of the activities that our community focused Student Nurses Association have been involved in. These are some of the things that have gotten them the state award year after year. Our students are passionate, they're committed to our community, and we're incredibly proud of all that they do. They do other things too, besides do wonderful things in the community. They serve in leadership positions at state and national level. They're on athletic teams. I think we may be getting another basketball player. We have a lot of cheerleaders, a lot of dance team for the university. Our students at the undergraduate level, as well as graduate level, present at state and national conferences. They co-author publications. And you can see some of the other great things that they do. So we're very focused not only on having our students have incredible nursing education, but we want them to be really well-rounded citizens and to encourage their other interests and ways of participating with the community. I want to talk a little bit about our scholarship, evidence-based practice and research. Dr. Eileen Walsh is our Associate Dean for Scholarship and Research. And under her enthusiastic tutelage and cheerleading, we've had continued and increased productivity even of our faculty and students despite the year of COVID. Our publications, I just kind of gave you an example, have gone up from 29 to 20. Faculty and students are doing oral presentations, poster presentations, and also a lot of community projects. We're very proud of our partnership with ProMedica healthcare system. Most of our students who are doing evidence-based practice projects, partnering with clinical nurses in clinical areas have been at ProMedica. We have a few at Mercy, don't want to leave you out, but our major partnership has been at ProMedica, and we're really excited about the opportunities for our students, but also the opportunity for our students to make a difference in clinical practice. This you cannot read at all, and I'm only putting them on the screen to say we also have faculty getting funded grants. And so project grants, training grants, and we've got a few here in yellow, Bob Top's research grants. Not an exhaustive list, but I don't want you to think we're not out there doing creative things in terms of grants, projects, and training opportunities. These are some of our challenges, really looking at growing faculty and student scholarship. We have increased faculty publications. We always need more, but we want our faculty to succeed in promotion and tenure, and we also want to make a difference in our region and the world, right? That's our mission. We have increased faculty grant submissions, increasing interprofessional collaborations, research and evidence-based practice, especially with our ProMedica partners. We have a goal of increasing Ph.D. researchers on our faculty, and once we're able to really hire people again, we will be pursuing that. All of our faculty have joint goal-setting meetings with the Associate Dean for Research and Scholarship and their department chair to really promote their work. We have a goal of increasing faculty national leadership and visibility through presentations, publications, more CE programs. Long-term goals, a PhD program and postdoc, but we've got to get more research active faculty first. So I want to talk just a little bit about our partnership with ProMedica. I've given an example here of a Ronald McDonald Caramobile, and we're very excited that our College of Nursing, along with ProMedica's Ebi Children's Hospital and Paula Grebe and her crew, and Ronald McDonald of Northwest Ohio have gotten funding for a Caramobile. We're now starting to really look at where we can have this Caramobile going out, making a difference in the community. And this is a great joint community academic practice partnership, and we're excited about that. We're excited about the opportunity to have clinical placements throughout the ProMedica system, as well as the UTMC system and other systems here in our community too. We're very excited to be able to partner with all area healthcare systems, community agencies, although we can't get into all of them right now because of COVID, but we'll be back. Our social determinants of health is another joint focus. ProMedica is definitely a national leader in that, and we're very interested here at the UToledo and in the College of Nursing of really promoting interprofessional scholarship in the area of social determinants of health. We've got a lot of joint evidence-based practice projects going on, joint EBP education through OSU workshops that ProMedica has sponsored and very generously invited our faculty to attend. And we continue to look at ways of being able to do more partnering and really being mutually beneficial. Our marketing, communications, and recruitment area, we have a new marketing, communications, and recruitment specialist. She's not totally new, but she's kind of new. She came during, looking at her over here, Kristen Gartland. We have to share her with the College of Pharmacy, but she's been doing a great job managing our social media. If you're not following us, please follow the College of Nursing and me on my Twitter that's at UToledo Nursing. Really working on a coordinated marketing plan of all of our programs. Really working hard on redoing our website right now, giving it a fresh look, making it easier to navigate. We'll be adding videos. We've been looking at doing national mailings and also developed an internal monthly newsletter so we can all kind of keep track of each other when we're not in person. We have a new director of development in the past year, Susan Wilson. She came a couple weeks before we all went underground into the COVID world. So it's been a little bit of a challenge for, out there for development professionals, but not to be daunted. She's been working with me on developing a comprehensive development plan, meeting with alumni, former and current faculty, and other friends of the college. We have coffees, happy hour sessions, and we hope that some of you will join us, many of you will join us for these great opportunities to just chat about what's happening in the nursing, in the community, and in the college. We'll go back to traveling when we can, but right now we're really looking at having virtual communications with our donor base, our alumni, and friends. We also are fortunate we have Allie Burns, who works for the UT Foundation, working with us for annual giving. Please mark on your calendar the day of giving, April 7th through 8th, 2021. Allie is going to be conducting focus groups, and so some of you might be asked to participate. We really hope you will. We want to hear more about what you're doing out there as alumni, how we can have a stronger relationship with you, and through our alumni association and alumni activities, as well as ways you might want to come and be guest lecturers or kind of, work with our students in different ways. And we've also been trying to have more communication. Also don't want to leave out another important person, which is our alumni liaison, Samantha Marshall. She is our person for our nursing alumni affiliate, and I appreciate Lori and Jan, who you're going to be hearing from. They are like wonderful, passionate champions for the College of Nursing, and we so much appreciate everything that they do. We appreciate the alumni affiliate co-sponsoring this State of the College this evening. We're going to have a hosted happy hour that Dr. Marty Sexton is going to kind of coordinate for us on February 18th. A great telehealth with Debbie Samsel, who will be our outstanding alum next year. She was this year, and we're keeping her on for 2 years. The alumni gift scholarships, and I just listed some of the past programs. So we're really excited about seeing growth in the alumni affiliate, and we look forward to more activities in that regard. I just wanted to talk a little bit about my expanded role, because I'm in roles that not all deans are, but I think one of the things that has been a great opportunity for me, but also for nursing here at the University of Toledo, is the opportunity to really bring nursing's visibility, focus, and influence and leadership to the wider, not only university, but Toledo community. So I've been able to do that through the opioid task force. I am the PI on our SAMHSA grant for mental health first aid training that we're really looking at focusing on here at the university, but also for the community. I became named a vice provost for health affairs for interprofessional and community partnerships, taking a lead role in the pandemic, the mental health response team, and social determinants of health. All of these areas are opportunities for me to extend the leadership and visibility of nursing. And I think that many people have had some of their views of nurses changed, not only by me, but many nurse leaders working in expanded roles. Many of you may know that our new acting Surgeon General of the United States is a nurse, Susan Ortega. She's not the first. We had another, Sylvia Trent Adams, was also the acting Surgeon General of the United States. We have nurses in Congress. The impact of nursing is important in many, many areas of our society. We have a lot to bring. And I'm just very fortunate and proud that we've been able to bring nursing through some of my work and the work of our leadership group, our faculty, our students, more to the fore here at the University of Toledo, as well as in our community, our region, and nationally by the work that people are getting known for. Very recently, Dr. Postal asked me to assume the role of interim inaugural executive director of University Health Services. Many of you who know our university know that unlike many universities that have a pretty comprehensive, coordinated system of healthcare services for faculty, staff, and students, ours not so much. We've had, not that we haven't had them, but they're in very different places through the university. Faculty and staff health is in HR. We've got some wellness for students in the rec center. We have the counseling center. We are looking at a major upgrade of our primary care and urgent care services on the main campus. So my task is to help to start bringing all those under one umbrella, look at how we can set up a financing model for that, at least initially, while we search for a permanent executive director. So hopefully this will be a short-term gig, but I do think that the fact that we have a nurse leading this for the university is a great opportunity for the visibility and leadership of nursing. So maybe driving me nuts, but trying to take it for the team. Also, I think it's really important to maintain one's active leadership in national and international organizations. For me, it's been through the Academy of Nursing. I now coordinate a group focused on toxic stress in children. We published one article about the pandemic and obesity in children. We're looking at a couple other articles, and this is an opportunity to really work with nurse leaders throughout the country around an area that we're all passionate about. I also am now the president of the International Network for Doctoral Education in Nursing, and that's kind of another international kind of opportunity. So I want to kind of encourage, all of you out there, they say kind of ask a busy person to do something. I do stay busy, but what is so important is I have incredible backup with my leadership team, and I can't be more proud of all of the faculty, staff, and students and the things that we're doing here. I just want to wrap up with some challenges and aspirations. We need to look at managing growth in our program and gaining the needed resources we need. We have requests in for additional resources now. The university is very, very seriously investigating the implementation of, well, I don't know, investigating. It's on the initial steps of making it happen, responsibility-centered management model, RCM budget model. I think that's going to be good for us because we're a growth college. It's a little problematic for maybe some of the other colleges. So the university will be kind of working out, to what extent we can, fully implement that model and make it work for everyone. We, of course, always need to look at, particularly in these crazy times, managing faculty workloads and promoting scholarship that faculty need for promotion. We try to work on that, and I have to really compliment our leadership team and Dr. Walsh and Dr. Phillips and Dr. Mitchell and Dr. Sexton, because they have a really strong focus on not only developing our students, but also our faculty. Our long-standing relationship with Bowling Green State University is going to be coming to a close at the end of summer 2021. And they're opening their own School of Nursing. There are two O's in there, there should only be one. That means we'll have a bit of competition on our doorstep. And so we need to be more active about recruiting students into our pathway programs. And, we're going to, try to be a collegial kind of relationship, but we have to kind of keep in mind, with competition, that's the opportunity to grow and, do things better. And that's certainly something that we're looking at. Having more attention to diversity and inclusion. Certainly the events of the last year have been really emblematic of the need for that. We have a new Diversity Nursing Association. Dr. Sharmita Gibbon is the faculty advisor for that. I really thank Shar for taking that on. Our students are very enthusiastic. They're starting a series of town halls for the college. We also are looking at how we're really covering areas of health disparities, equity, and social determinants of health throughout our curricula. We need to continue to increase our interprofessional programs, courses, and collaborations. We're pretty good at that. We're pretty known for that at the University of Toledo, but that's an area of continued growth for us. We need to continue to grow our alumni, our development, and our fundraising activities. I'm really focused on this year wanting to appoint an external Dean's Advisory Board to really help us in a lot of our areas. And we want to get back to growing our study abroad and global outreach programs. We signed an agreement with Nanjing Medical University in China just before the COVID hit. And so it's going to take a while to kind of get back to that. We have relationships with Australian universities, Scotland, Taiwan. We have a lot of opportunities. And in the post-COVID world, we're ready to take that on. So in summary, we have challenges, everyone does, but I'm envisioning a very bright future for the UToledo College of Nursing. We have a very committed and passionate group of faculty, staff, and students, and a very supportive administration, which makes a lot of difference. And so, as we say here, go Rocket Nursing. And I think I've talked a long time, but I have a lot to say. There's a lot of stuff going on in this college. I mean, it might be COVID, but man, we just have a lot of things happening. But I am very willing to stay on a little bit more and answer some of your questions. So thank you so much for being with us tonight. And I now have some handy helpers who are going to come and give me some questions that you've been asking. Don't share my screen. Okay, stop sharing. Sorry, that was okay. And then how do I do this? Full screen. I don't know how to make me full screen. Okay, so you have some questions? So we have some questions that some of you submitted before, and I don't know, did we have more questions come in? Not too many, so let me see some of the questions that people had, and I'll run through a few of these if you'll bear with me. How can a student best succeed in this program? Oh, well, that's a really good question. You know, I think we have very motivated, very talented students who come into this program, and we have a lot of supports and resources. But my best advice is students need to use them. You need to ask for help when you need it. You need to go to success coaches or to our tutors or to our CLAs or to our faculty. Our faculty love to talk to students, help you problem solve. If it doesn't work with the first person, go to the course coordinator, go to your program director, and I get to talk to students too sometimes if there are issues that I'm happy to problem solve. Usually it doesn't get to that because we really have a very strong focus on student success. You know, somebody said you get into it, get out of things what you put into it. And, you know, I think our students work very hard, but I think that a key to success is using the resources that are available. Don't wait if you're not sure about things. Don't wait to ask for help. Don't be reticent to, you know, make your confusion or your needs known. You know, if you have issues happening in your personal life, which, hey, it's COVID, and we just went through all the lists of stuff, there are challenges in our country right now. You know, students are people too. You have the same challenges that everyone in America does. So let us help you. Don't kind of suffer in silence. You know, I think, yes, it takes committed, passionate studying, a lot of studying, you know, a lot of focus on skills, but use our faculty, use our resources. Talk to faculty about your hopes and dreams and your career aspirations. They love to do that. Right? Yes, they do. It's like, cool. We love it when students talk about, you know, well, how did you get where you are? And we can talk about sort of our pathway to, you know, got us where we are today. So I think those are my best my best advice. What percentage of students are accepted into the upper level clinical rotation? Well, I'll tell you the percentages have been going up because we're admitting more students. So, and I have these handy. So in 2018, when I first came, we were admitting 80 students 3 times a year. But we had a lot of qualified applicants we weren't letting in the program. And so we had about, so then we increased it to 96 students 3 times a year, and we had about a 66% admission rate. Then in 2019, we had a lot of people on our waiting list, and the university enrollment was kind of down. And so then President Gaber really prevailed on us to take more students because we had really incredible students out there, and it was an opportunity, and we needed to have more enrollment. And so anyway, our faculty again rose to the occasion. So then that brought us to about an 83% admission rate. Then we decided, okay, we're not going to do these bolus things of 150. That's like a lot taxing the system. But we're going to kind of stabilize it, admitting about 112 3 times a year. That's still a lot of nurses and students. There's still a lot of need for nurses out there. So if any of you are thinking about it, you're still going to have a job. But because we've increased our numbers and our enrollment in the pre-nursing, if you saw that in my big fancy chart, is a little bit down, as it is in many places. We last year had a 93% admission rate. So your chances of getting admitted were pretty good, you know, as long as you meet the admission criteria. What are the plans for future scholarship funding? We continue to look for opportunities to have new scholarships develop. Our Alumni Association is thinking about maybe increasing their scholarship allocation. We're really excited about that, putting in a plug. We have our development folks, you know, hard at work. You know, the reality is with COVID, you know, giving is kind of down throughout the country, and we're hoping to see that kind of come back. And so we have such a need for nurses. We have a lot of students who really need assistance. And so, you know, we're actively trying to look at new ways of gaining more scholarship for our students and, you know, continuing the scholarships that we have. So, you know, any opportunities that any of our alumni have to, you know, give us some ideas about ways we can increase our money for scholarships, we would love to hear that from you. How do you encourage nursing students to investigate other branches of nursing like the CRNA? Do we have speakers or former students come and talk? Yes, we do. And we would love to have more. So for those of you who are working in, you know, different areas of nursing, and, you know, if you're a nurse, you're working in a different area, we would love to have, you know, if we haven't tapped into you for coming as a guest speaker or working through, we have an online thing called Handshake, and that's an opportunity to kind of do some virtual mentoring where we can kind of match some of our alums and friends of nursing, nurses out there with our students virtually, and that's the handshake metaphor, how to get it. So that's an opportunity. We would love to hear from any of you who would like to have a role in coming in to speak to our students, provide some other opportunities for our students. That's really, you know, you are the ones, all you practice people, you're the ones that our students really believe know what's happening in the world. And so we would love to have more opportunities to do that. Are you able to provide suggestions and strategies for mechanisms of coping and transitioning into this newly and greatly strained healthcare field as Master's Superior Registered Nurses or any kind of registered nurses? You know, I think it's really important. I had the opportunity way back in my master's program to work with Dr. Marlene Kramer, who wrote the work called Reality Shock, and she was kind of the first person way back when who really focused on the transition of new graduate nurses into the work world and really highlighted some of the difficulties and the challenges. So I've been very focused on that. I was her research assistant back in my master's program, and you know, I think that making that transition is not always easy. I think residency programs have really, really been great, and I encourage all of our students to look at getting into a nurse residency program that can help support you in making that transition. We also have to just really have that focus on self-care. You know, it's stressful, especially with the increased population of patients and, you know, with COVID, with other kinds of issues in the hospital. You know, it's a stressful place out there, right? Those of you who work in hospital settings and in community settings, and pretty much, you know, it's a stressful world, let's just face it, wherever we are. So the more we can all take care of ourselves, I think that that's, you know, people say, oh, sleep, that's like, really, that's the best you got. But honest to God, eating right, having sleep, kind of doing some stress management techniques, taking care of ourselves as people, remembering nurses are people too, is really, really important as we start a new job wherever we are or continue in the jobs that we're in. We have very demanding roles. Wherever you are, working as a nurse is a demanding role. And we do that. We go into that stress-seeking people. You know, we kind of dive on that. You know, we, you know, want to rise to the occasion. We want to help people, you know, in whatever role we're in, whether it's a dean, an administrator, you know, a bedside nurse, you know, a community health, trying to get people, you know, vaccinated through COVID, the pandemic here. Wherever we are in nursing, and there's so many options, as we know, it's stressful. You know, we have people's lives here that we're affecting, and we have to take care of our life too. So my advice is, you know, look for a supportive environment when you take your first job. Look for ways of supporting yourself in that environment, and keep monitoring how it's working for you. And if it's not working, you gotta make changes. Okay, and I think those are kind of most of the questions. So I'm really excited. I know we ran over a little bit, but I get pretty excited talking about all of the things that we have going on in the College of Nursing. So I think, Jan, I'm gonna hand it over to you, and just remember, you know, take care of yourselves out there, and go Rockets and go Rocket Nursing. Thank you very much.
Hello, am I heard? Am I heard?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Well, Dean Lewandowski, your enthusiasm and passion for your students, alumni, and faculty are clear. And we look forward to hearing even more good news from the college. That was an exciting presentation. Now, on behalf of the Toledo University Alumni Association, I want to thank each of you for attending today's virtual program. Our affiliate goal is to continue to provide opportunities for our nursing alumni and nursing community to stay connected. Please share your thoughts and ideas of how we can connect you to the college by filling out the post-event survey that you received by email this evening. Lastly, if you are not a member yet of the College of Nursing Alumni Affiliate, we need you. We seriously need you. We encourage you to join by visiting our alumni website. The Nursing Alumni Affiliate is your link to the College of Nursing and assists us with planning future events such as this one tonight for nursing alumni. This event was recorded and will be available on demand in a few days. So again, thank you, and go Nursing Rockets.